Welcome back to another clay video. Today, we are going to create this miniature scene from Animal Crossing New Horizons inside of this mint container. I've been saving this container since I first started making things with clay about 3 years ago, with the intent of making something inside of it, but nothing ever really seemed to be a great idea to put inside of that. But something about Animal Crossing just seems so perfect inside of this little container. And the really cool part about the container is that it's metal. So instead of having to make all the pieces separately and glue them in, we can build straight into the container and just stick the container into the oven. Let's start with the ground layer. We have the grass here. I decided to go for a summer theme. If I made some more of these, maybe I would do like an ocean theme where it's a beach, or maybe winter, because the winter in this game looks really cool. I love all the snow. We have some blue for the water over here, and we can make some fish a little bit later to put into there. This is going to be a chopped down tree. I wanted to create a full-size tree, except I wouldn't be able to close the tin, and I think that it looks really cool being able to open and close it. So we're gonna have this tree chopped down. We have some shiny silver clay for the top of the axe. We can get these little pieces together, and we'll just stick the axe right onto the stump. Now let's create some rocks. These are very basic. And I thought that it looked a little bit empty with one rock, so I made an extra one here. Now this is very iconic for Animal Crossing games. The ground always has these little triangles all over it, with a couple different shades of green. So let's start placing these triangles randomly all over the ground. And that is looking pretty awesome. Let's create a few furniture items. First we have a blanket, because it's really nice to sit in the grass on a blanket. And although I don't think there's actually blankets in the game to lay down on the ground, you can use the custom patterns and make pretty much any design you want for a blanket and lay it on the ground. Now let's create this log bench. I think this looks pretty nice because it has the two different shades of brown. You can see the bark and also the inner part of the tree. Let's add a little bit of texture into the inner part of the tree. And we will create the fish. These are very, very simple to create. You see these as shadows in the game, and then when you pull them up, you get different fish depending on the size and location that you find them. The first villager we're gonna create is Tangy. This is one of my favorite villagers, and although it took a very long time to find her, she is definitely not ever leaving my island. I really like a lot of the cat villagers, but especially this one. For the ears, we have this inner red area, and we can put those onto the head. It was pretty hard to create these tiny little villagers since they do actually have a decent amount of detail on their faces. We have this leaf on the head. And now, as you see, Tangy is doing some sort of yoga or stretching. So she has her eyes closed, so we're gonna go for that look. And I think this little line of black on the bottom sort of accents a little bit better that her eyes are closed. So let's get her onto her blanket doing her stretches, and we almost forgot the tail. Moving on to our second villager, we have my all-time favorite, Filbert. I really like a lot of the lazy villagers, like him and Eric. I've had them both on my island for a very long time. And they just always do a lot of funny, goofy stuff, and they're very relatable sometimes. Let's start creating the eyes. And we have the ears. Same as Tangy, we have the inner part of the ears a different color. I feel like because I made the nose and the ears really big, he sort of looks like a koala and not a squirrel, but I still really like him. We also have this marking on top of the head, which is a little bit tricky to create. And now we have the tail. And although there is a white and a dark blue strip going around the tail, I found it pretty hard to fit both of those onto here, so we're just gonna go for the white stripe. Let's put him onto our bench here, and hopefully he won't be too tall so we can still close the tin. The scenery looks really good, but it still looks a little bit empty, so let's create something extra. Let's make this tree sprout. I guess whoever cut down the tree maybe was feeling bad, so they planted a new tree. We have 2 leaves, 1 for each side, and let's put a little bit of pattern into it. And for our final detail, let's create a watering can, perfect to go next to the sprout. Here's a little handle for the top. And let's put these both onto the map. And now, our Animal Crossing tin is ready to get baked. After baking, there's nothing else we have to do. So, here it is, the mini scenery of Animal Crossing New Horizons inside of a mint container. I hope you all enjoyed the creation of this miniature Animal Crossing scene. Still smells like cinnamon. If you want to see some more Animal Crossing things I've created, you can see a playlist up here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.